Hey guys, Clueless Crafts here, and today I'm going to be making the staircase room from Squid Game. To start off, I first made myself a cardboard version as I had no idea how I was going to make this without a solid reference point. Not sponsored by Kellogg's. But this model turned out to be too big for my taste, never mind the fact that I also had nowhere near the amount of clay needed to build one that size. So I reduced the size to 75% and made it a little neater. These became my templates for the clay. Speaking of, for this build, I mixed my own colors to match the bright pink, blue, and green theme. My hands got quite the workout this episode. Once they were all mixed, I was ready to start cutting out the walls. I wanted to ensure all the walls were the same thickness, so I grabbed these two oversized popsicles and taped them together to be my stoppers on either side. It worked out quite well, especially with parchment paper laid underneath, as it meant I didn't need to peel away the clay away from the table and stretch the shape. First template down, and you can really see the oil the cardboard picked up from the clay. Cutting out the outline was pretty straightforward, but the doors and windows were another story. I tried to get a clean cut, but the clay had other plans. Eventually, it was all cut out and ready for the oven. I baked each wall at 220 degrees for 15 minutes as a pre-bake. I don't want to bake it all the way yet, as I plan to bake it later on in the building process. So I basically cut out one wall, pre-bake it, and move on to the next while the previous wall is baking. The third wall is a little different. I wanted to have a color change in the middle of the wall, so I mark on the pink side where I want to make a straight cut down the middle. The excess clay is removed, and I make a similar cut for the green side. Using a Q-tip, I dip it in some liquid Sculpey and apply it to the connecting sides, then push them together. And then I use a roller to ensure a solid connection. Now I just line up the color change with the grid lines I drew on the template. And last but not least is the final wall, this time entirely green. And with that wall out of the oven, I can mix a dark blue for the floor. My hands got quite the dye job, but after a long hand scrubbing, I realized I needed more of the same color. So I dirtied my hands again, but this time only using half the package. Another hand wash, and before we continue on with the floor, I forgot to make this tall, thin column with circular cutouts. So I rolled out the clay the same thickness as the walls, and had some fun, first tracing out where the circles would go, then carefully cutting out each one. And by some miracle, they all came out in one piece. So satisfying. Okay, back to the floor. I laid out all the walls in their respective spots and started placing them on the floor, pushing the walls down into place until it could stand on its own. Once all the walls were in place and looking good, I took it apart, revealing the wall imprints left behind. I cut off the excess clay, then realized I forgot about the column again. I put it back together and made another indent in the floor. Only after I pushed it in did I realize I put it in the wrong spot. That's what she said. So I made another indent where the column was supposed to go, and then I used some extra clay to fill in the gap, carefully blending out with some sculpting tools. There, never happened. And this is after our pre-bake. Now before we add the walls, I need to spruce them up a bit. One thing I love about this room is the mismatched colors of the door frames and windows. To create this look, I'm rolling out the clay nice and thin before cutting into strips. I lightly coat the door frame with liquid Sculpey and start wrapping each side of the frame. I'm blending it out, not really caring about the edges, as I go in after with my knife and trim off the excess. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. I would like to say that this part was easy, but that would be a lie. Realistically, I think I spent like 30 minutes sculpting each door frame and window. I don't even want to think how long that is altogether, but I'm sure someone will point it out. I was only one door in when I started contemplating if this was even worth it, but I pushed through anyway, and I guess I'm glad I did, but boy, was this project a tough one. I kept putting it off because all I could think about was the giant list of things I needed to do before I finally finished this thing. It also didn't help that halfway through making this, I started to really hate how it looked. I probably wanted to quit and move on to another project several times throughout the process. And I only say this because I'm sure there are some of you out there that struggle with the same thing, and that even though you like your hobby and it brings you joy, it's okay to take breaks when you're overwhelmed or aren't feeling up to it. I'm glad I took my time making this, as I know if I just tried to force myself to finish, it wouldn't have turned out as nice, and I probably wouldn't want to look at it ever again. So that's your rambling lesson of the day. And after all that, these doors and windows are finally done, and I can start constructing this thing. First, let's grab the floor piece and apply some liquid Sculpey along the indents. Along with the liquid Sculpey, I'm also adding a few drops of super glue here and there, since I want to make sure that the structure is sturdy enough to build on. And this way, when I put it in the oven again, as the super glue slowly melts, the liquid Sculpey will start to bond and harden. It's a great technique, which I think I first used when I was building my Among Us diorama. Now, I am only putting up 3 walls at the moment, since I need an opening to add everything inside. Speaking of, I made a few paper templates of all the staircases and walkways I need to make. Looks simple, right? I'm rolling out the same dark blue as the flooring, but this time I'm only using 1 popsicle on either side instead of 2. Then it's just arranging the templates and cutting them out. I wish cutting them out in real life was as quick as this, but once they're all cut out, I'm using those same templates to kind of guesstimate the size and angles of the staircases. What I probably should have done was make an actual template for those, but as I mentioned before, I wasn't too keen on throwing more time into this than I had to. So improvising it is. And most of the staircases turned out the right size after a few adjustments, so that's all I can hope for. Back to the staircases, another reason I love this room so much was the grid-like design and all the right angles. Kinda reminds me of playing Minecraft, building impossible looking structures, only limited by your imagination. Which also makes me think of the Impossible Staircase, or the Penrose Stairs, which the Squid Game stairs were actually based on. And while I know I can't make it look accurate to the show's depiction, I still want to attempt to create something similar. Now, along with the staircases, I also had to make some walls to join them together. For these, I did make a template, mostly because it was just a square and it took me a few seconds to make. And while some staircases were pretty straightforward, this one was another story, as this one is not only a floating staircase between 2 walls, but it also has to pass through the column in one of the circle cutouts. This was a little daunting and it very much tested my patience. If I could give some advice, make a template. I wish I had. Though I doubt anyone is going to make this. I mean, I never make any of the projects that I see on YouTube. We all just watch each other make stuff while we lay in bed with our phones 5 inches from our face. And that's perfectly fine. Except maybe you should hold your phone a little further away. And maybe blink a bit more too. Anyway, let's just take a look at the many pieces to our puzzle. So many. So let's get building, shall we? I'm going to start with the furthest staircase from the opening and work my way out. First, I just quickly fill in that ugly gap between the walls. And then to create the look of stairs without actually making them, I'm creating indents with my flat edge tool along our strip of clay. I accidentally got a little bit too stair happy and had to smooth out the ends for our landings. Then comes the fun part of gluing everything together. And same as before, I'm using both liquid Sculpey and super glue to join everything together. So let's carefully put that in place, and I'm already excited for how this is going to look. Next is our little flat walkway on the first floor, and I just love how the light and dark blue go together. Blue is actually my favorite color, so I might be a bit biased. Before placing the walkway in the room, I folded up a little piece of tinfoil to add underneath, just to make sure it stays even while baking, since I didn't want to take any chances. Another piece for good luck, and look at that walkway hover. Time for our column to go in, after a little struggle. Then let's make the staircase that goes through it. I decided to leave out the extra hour I spent trying to make this fit, and left you with just a taste of the struggle I went through. But now that that's done, I found my second wind to carry on and finish this up. The next staircase, I split into 2 since I've already struggled enough. And this is the point I realized I forgot part of the wall design. I should have made this earlier, but better late than never. And with a little liquid Sculpey, it was like it was always there. Now the staircase can be placed along with a ball of tinfoil for some temporary support. The second half of the staircase can now be added, then finished up with some supporting walls connecting everything together. And then another wall can go up across from it. I think this one was my favorite staircase. Even though it was simple, I really liked the design and the added doorway along the staircase wall. Hey look, it's the final staircase. That means we're done, right? Nope. Notice how this staircase leads into a wall? Yeah, I didn't like that. I also didn't like my butchered attempt at trying to fix it. So let's just try it again. Round 2, and the design looks better already. I also decided to add these joining pieces so I could construct the staircase before adding it to the room. This made it so much easier. I just wish I thought of it sooner. Now just to add the stairs to the staircase, securing from the bottom, and it's looking good. Now we can't add a staircase that leads to nowhere, so it's time to add the final wall. Just adding glue everywhere I can, and in you go. Then the staircase, And finally, just filling in the gaps between the walls so we can have a nice finished look for the final product. One final trip to the oven at 220 degrees for 25 minutes. I'm baking at a slightly lower temperature since I want to avoid any possible burning of the clay. And it gives me great pleasure to present the final product, my version of the Squid Game staircase room. Far from perfect, but full of learning experiences and not too bad looking. I hope you enjoyed watching the building process, and if you did, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. But that's all I have for you today, so hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. Bye!